thing is my microphone is plugged in. I kind of wasn't sure I wanted to broadcast tonight, but I do want to broadcast. I don't know if I'm going to broadcast tomorrow night. We have some things we need to take care of. So, but I did want to at least make an appearance because things are rather exciting right now. Kenyan. I'm the Kenyan mix. That's from Brian tonight. Very delicious, smooth, and a bit light. Very nice. Many things are occurring at the same time and fiercely in all different directions. The gold crash, the silver crash, XRP, the ISO 222 crash, the selection of a new Fed chairman who is on the Epstein list, the Epstein list coming out, Melania's movie, riots in Minnesota, in LA, the arrest of Don Lemon. Is it? It is. What's the guy's name? The CNN guy. The Don Lemon. Yeah, was arrested. Everything. Hey, Sharon, the party queen. Everything seems to be heading towards. I can't even find out if the government is shut down or if it's just shut down till Monday. People are saying it's not shut down. It is shut down. There's a lot going on. Yeah, things are definitely going down. I think that's a good way to look at it. Hey, YNAB. Don Lemon. It is Lemon. What a weird name, right? Don Lemon. And he's a very sour kind of guy, right? Hey, B. Ford. Yeah. Many things occurring at the same time. And we just have to keep forging ahead. We don't really know. Is this leading to a shutdown? Is it leading to the EBS? Is it leading to a colossal change in fortune for humanity? Well, that I think there's no question about. How it's going to unroll, nobody I know knows. A lot of people seem to think they know, but they're usually wrong. This is an unfolding process, so when a seed is put in the ground, it basically rots. I mean, things have to go through a cycle. This is I think what we're witnessing is the final destruction of the deep state. May it happen fast. Will it happen fast? I don't know. I don't know. I keep hearing. I subscribe to certain people on my X channel, on my X feed. There are certain people that are continually saying the EBS is coming, the 10 days of darkness. I still maintain that is not the way this transformation is going to take place. And if it does, I'll be delighted. I'll be the first person to just jump for joy. Okay, the EBS is here. It can't, in my opinion, in my world, in my viewpoint, in our viewpoint, it can't go down like that. Why? Well, it could. It could go down like that. I mean, I hope it does go down like that. It would be great to see, okay, the The war is over. We are now saved. We are now sovereign and free people. All is well. By the way, if my microphone, I had to readjust the volume. If it's not functioning right, let me know. For his mom's movie rights, Barron paid 40 million for his mom's movie rights. Interesting. Tonight at midnight. So it is going down at midnight. But I don't know. I I don't know. Listen. I don't know. I think that the transformation is an internal transformation. Not everyone is geared for this. Tonight at midnight. Okay, so it is going down. Government shutdown forever. Yeah, I don't see that. I don't see that. I don't see the government. I mean, I hope it does, but I don't think I think this is a transformative process. That's what I've been maintaining. At any rate, it really doesn't matter because what really matters to me, what what's happening at midnight. The government could be shutting down, but I it's this is not this is not something to set your clock by, in my opinion. We want peace and prosperity for the world. Yeah, I like the idea. What's happening? But I don't think it's gonna. I don't see it coming like that. It could. If it, like I said, if it does, I'll be delighted because I've been maintaining this, and I don't have a million followers because I'm not interested in the excitement of, is the Fed chairman the real Fed chairman? I mean, I think it's just central casting. That's what President Trump said. It's central casting. It's just a move and counter move. And that all these things at the end of the day depend upon individual awakenings, depend upon you and I figuring out that whether the government shuts down or not, the government is not the real government. It's a phony, fake government. So once you decide that, once you walk away and you say, I'm not paying taxes to them. I'm not, I'm not getting a license for my car. I'm not paying my ticket. I'm not going to live in fear that they're going to take my stuff away, even though, like, just 2 weeks ago, they took our Jeep. They just took it. We went to Walmart's, and when we came out, it was gone. They repossessed it. I didn't pay. I wasn't paying my payments, so they took it, and I was just like, okay. It caused us. Oh, it was a hardship at the time because we didn't know what was going on. But once we figured it out, this is an individual journey, and we have to become the only. You cannot be. I now announce that Ellie Weber is a sovereign person. Everything is changed in the world, and it can't go down like that. It can't be a gift from above. It has to be earned. I have to decide I'm a sovereign person. They want my car back, take it. But it has nothing to do with me. You never sent me a bill. I never got a bill because you didn't have my address, I guess. Apparently they didn't. And then they put me on hold for like 6 hours. And I'm just like, I just want my stuff back. Just, tell me where my car is, where my stuff is, and see you later. Goodbye. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. To the republic. What is the republic? The republic is something that the government that's pretending to be the government is not the real government. They're charlatans. This is a corporate entity that is gone. It has no power over us. It never did. We were living in an illusion, and now we are gifted with the task of reforming, of repopulating the republic, of becoming the United States for America, the republic for America, for USA. So, if you're waiting for, we had the answer is not that XRP is going to go to the moon and you're going to be saved. That is not what this is about. The answer is not you have enough silver that when it goes to $500 an ounce, you'll be a multimillionaire and you won't care and you'll be able to sit on the beach all day. That is not what this is about. And you'll have your Maserati. That's not what this is about. It's about a far greater, a far more resilient, a far more brilliant, a far more cosmic goal. And that is sovereignty. That is we the people. We have the power. And if somebody comes and drops, and says, okay, the government is shut down. I mean, the government should shut down. It's not the government. There's nothing there that has any relationship to me or you whatsoever. It is a corporate entity that is now defunct. There's no legislative body that's meeting to decide on these votes. This is, in my opinion, this is all a military movie. This is continuance of governance, a COG operation that it looks like the government is, it looks like the Supreme Court is, but they're not. They're gone. Most of them have been arrested. When in 2020, when they shut down Washington, D.C., they were all taken off to Gitmo, in my opinion. But they've been pretending, hoping that the people would wake up. But we are not awake until we are actively forming the republic, living by the Constitution, not by the Satanist legal system. We have no choice but to grow up. I was noticing that my beard is it's kind of getting dark now. What is that about? I'm getting younger. I think it's the patches. It's not just the patches. It is the patches, but it's more than the patches. It's having the right attitude. It's freeing yourselves from the matrix. It's up to each and every one of us to decide what we want to do. I know the popcorn. We should popcorn time, but it's more than popcorn, because popcorn implies that you're watching a movie. You are the movie. You are in the movie. You are an active participant in your own life. That's what this is all about. They just take our money through taxes. We the people have to take back our power. Yeah, exactly right. We can see everything: the fraud, the waste, the corruption, the phony baloney people in power, like this guy, this new Fed chairman. He went to Stanford and Harvard and Yale, and he's part of the club, and he's from a billionaire family. And it's like, are you kidding me? This is central casting. Brian Best, spiritual bean coffee, organic, small roast. He does it himself. Tess Castro. Yeah, I remember. I think I remember Tess. Yeah. Give them the one arm salute. I haven't seen you do that in a long time. I'm not sure what the one arm salute is, but yeah, I feel younger. I feel younger. And you know what? You want to know something? I mean, this is something I just surprised myself, but I really enjoy working. I just like, Danielle is like, okay, go to work. And I just go to work. I worked, I finally got my beam vertical, and it was a scary experience, but now that I know how to do it, I have to put up a bunch of other beams. Now it should be a pretty easy thing. That's like, like when you get a new platform, when I started on Restream, it took me a while to get it, but now that I have it, I click, 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 I know how to do everything. But I love to work on the land. It is so much fun. So I went out this morning, first thing in the morning, and I got the beam up against the wall. I made sure it was level, and I put in a lag bolt, and then I put in a through bolt to keep it up. And then I said, let's do something else. And I thought to myself, I have all these fruit trees that are just sitting there. I really want to put them into place. So every aspect of my life is spiritual in a sense. It's divine providence because I don't make plans. I started digging a ditch when we first got up here. After the first thing I did was dig a ditch into my quote garden. I had no idea what it was going to look like. And now we do what we always do, which is we put cedar posts into the ground, fill it with rocks, and then add these quarter round ponderosa pine boards from one post to the next to create a structure. That's all our buildings are built like that. Did I plan that? Did I talk to an architect? Did I check it out with the government? Hell no. It just happened. Did I plan to have a second floor in the back of the building? No, it just sort of happened. Like I suddenly was in possession of a 20-foot 4x10, which is a huge chunk of wood. But I it to for me, and I don't know about you guys, but like, so after I got the beam in place, I went out to the garden. So this was a process that I didn't know. I didn't have plans. I didn't know where it was going, but I dug the ditch. I put some pipes underground. I put some holes in the pipes to leak out water. I attached it to the RV. Then filled it over. I dug some more and filled it in with a bunch of mulch and all kinds of cool stuff, dead cactus and stuff. And then now I'm filling it more, and now I'm putting these cedar posts with the ponderosa boards, and I, I'm I didn't plan any of it, but I have like I have a big trench where the garden is. Now I'm filling in the trench. And I'm saying, wow, this dirt is really nice. It's good dirt over the mulch and everything else. It's just happening naturally without plans. It's just so much fun to be away from. It's difficult. It's difficult. It's hard. The front door, the doorknob on my front door of the RV just basically stopped working. I took it apart and it just flew apart. The pieces went every which direction. I can't even find the pieces. It's not like I could put it back together again. That's the kind of stuff that happens out here, and there's nobody. You can't. Oh, could you come on and fix my? Like, no one's going to come up here and fix anything. So we just have to make do. So it's trying, but it's ours. It's our creation, And that's where I believe we're heading. I'm not saying that everyone should live off grid, but everyone should enjoy the fruits of working in a way that is uncontrolled, that is divine, that is just, you just do the next thing. You don't know why. You don't question it. You don't call anyone up and tell me, "Am I doing it the right way?" It's like, no. I mean, I was very cautious about having a 18-foot beam leaning against a scaffold for a couple days. That was scary to me because I understood the danger of the potential energy of a board that size just hanging in space. I don't know why I'm going off on this tangent, but the bottom line is everything's going crazy. This is the collapse of the bad guys. This is the dominoes going down. The Epstein files have been released, some of them at least. People are now finding out that Charming or Prince Charles or whoever he is wasn't just, having sex with underage kids. This was, they were killing children for pleasure. The people who were running the world were killing children at Epstein Island and drinking their blood and eating them and this kind of stuff. This is the people who are running our world. Do you really, are you really waiting to leave the matrix? I mean, this is it's so clear. It's becoming clearer and clearer. So if we and I listen, I am waiting. I am waiting for XRP to go to the moon. I want to see silver and gold. I want to see the quantum financial system. I want to live under GESARA regulations. The GESARA, they're like 20 points, 10 points. That's all you need. I don't need, well, if you speed and if you go too fast in your truck, then you're going to get a ticket. And, and if you don't have a certified septic tank up here, you can't get a real address. And I stopped paying my mortgage. Am I good? I any of that stuff. I'm not interested. Will I have to deal with consequences? I don't think so. I didn't really have to deal with much with the truck. I just didn't pay my bill and they repossessed it. So see you later. We have to become sovereign citizens. It does not mean that we are going to be hearing the trumpets blaring and people telling us that now you're a sovereign citizen, you could do as you please. Because if that were to happen, you would not know what to do with it. It's like this guy Richard Price. When I was in writing school, I had this teacher Richard Price who wrote a screenplay about people who win the lottery. They go nuts. They can't handle it. Same with sovereignty. If you're just told, okay, you're free, man, the matrix is over, we're going to have the 10 days of darkness and then the EBS, and we're going to explain what's going on, you just be like, okay, man, I got lots of money now, man. I'm gonna go get my twin Maseratis and build a swimming pool in my backyard in Las Vegas or wherever you decide to move to. And you would still have you wouldn't be a fully formed sovereign person because you didn't work through it yourself. It was a gift. Sometimes a gift is not appreciated the way something is that you work for. Like for me to conceive of the idea that, okay, I got my fruit trees, I got my chicken coop, I got my various animals, and a bunch of people now live around me, and we're all living and learning and loving each other together, and that's where I think I'm heading. But I get great joy from going out and digging in the dirt and making a garden and planting my trees and knowing that I'm going to be planting a row of carrots here because the garden is much wider than I initially just dug. I dug like a narrow trench, and now it's like a 14-foot wide by 30-foot greenhouse is gonna somehow spring out of there. But I did it with my own hands, so I know each part of it. It's not like, okay, so I bought this place and there's a garden there, and there's a nice little cottage for me to live, 2 stories, and I can put my little film studio upstairs and broadcast to my heart's content. There's a new frequency app coming out soon that will help us all with healing. I will send you the information. Great. We've been here for many years. Yeah, we have been, and most of us, just saying old news. I think because we've been talking about this for a long time. The Zoom meeting is Wednesday. That's great. You guys should be meeting. I totally approve, and I'm delighted. But had no insurance. My luck. Cab guy had no insurance. Yeah, I don't know what you mean, but cab guy. Broken foot healed, but back issues. People are really suffering now. There's a lot of sickness, a lot of how would there not be? They're poisoning our food, poisoning the air. Anyway, I don't mean to be dour about this, but I just the world is collapsing, and that's a good thing. The end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine. But I don't have the same expectations that a lot of people seem to have about, suddenly it's going to be declared over and everything's going to be okay. Because it has to be an individual. It has to be you and I deciding that I'm in control, man. I don't care about, the government, the so-called government I have nothing to do with, that has nothing to do with me. They're a bunch of criminal, pedophile murderers. What does that have to do with me? I am about the republic, for the republic, for which it stands, the republic. So again, I think it's part of this republic, the republic4usa.org. Join the republic, become a member, volunteer to help them. This is where we're going. This cannot be done by Donald Trump. This cannot be done by Space Force. The white hats are waiting for us to reconstitute, to repopulate the republic, and then GESARA will be activated. So if you're having a heart attack over the events of the day and the government shutdown, I know you guys are not. It's just stuff happening, man. It's nothing. It means nothing to us. We have to get up and do our part, or I have to get up and do my part, which is, for me, is establishing the republic in Mojave County, where I live. I want to establish it. People that are helping me are saying there could be kickback, there could be problems with the government. I don't care. I don't care. Listen, they took my job, they took my YouTube channel, they took my Jeep. It's like I don't expect anything from these people. They give me a hard time. It's like, okay, that's what they do. They shadow ban me continually. Okay. Food is expensive. Organic food, healthy food is so expensive that we can barely. Okay, that's just the way it is. But anyway, I don't mean to be dour, but I just want everyone to understand that the world is collapsing. The world that we knew is collapsing. That's a good thing. But that at the end of the day, we have to we have to rise for the prize, and the prize is reestablishing the republic. Now, I've said before, in Arizona was formed in 1912, apparently, probably by the Creepazoids, right before they took over the banking system. There was never a republic here, so we are formulating a republic for the first time in Arizona. And it's this is local. The government is not going to, we're not going to have this big federal flatulent government. It's just going to be local control. It'll just be, Mojave County. That's where I live. So we have to go to the court steps and make certain declarations and pledge allegiance to God, to the divine order of things, to the Constitution, not to some kind of corporate tyrannical structure. Everything is going down. The UN is going bankrupt. All these organizations, the global stupidity is all gone. The Dems are getting, they're still protesting, the little liberals, the paid shills, but they're not going to be around much longer. Don Lemon has been arrested. The Epstein files are out. This is the EBS. The Epstein files are the EBS. Not everyone will have it in their face. Not everyone will probably even find out about it. But a lot of us will. A lot of us are interested. I hope he's arrested and jailed. I think he was already. Ran me over. Cab guy, had no insurance. My luck. We've been here for many years. Yeah, I'm not sure. You guys are on kind of like a different thought stream. Maybe I'm not at the. We have inner work to do. That's the bottom line. We have inner work to do. Me too. I'm not an enlightened being by any means. I got a lot of work to do. I'm lucky that I found out I like to work. It makes me happy. To build things, to build a garden, to plant fruit trees, to plant nut trees, to eventually we'll be having, we'll be transforming the land into a place that sustains us. You don't, so we're not developing 170 acres of fruit and nut trees. We're just trying to get a few trees in. This is not a massive project, but it's a wonderful thing to be able to create stuff with your hands, to build a house. There was something I saw today about, why didn't they educate us? Why wasn't the education in school about how to build things, how to plant things, how to do things? Algebra. I mean, I know, I was a math teacher. I know how to do algebra. Do I ever use it? No. Maybe every once in a while. I mean, I was thinking about geometry when I was putting that 18-foot beam in place. It's a beautiful world. Okay, so I don't know. I'm surprised. I'm surprised to hearing myself, but I'm just I'm just thinking that Daniela busting her butt too, I'll bet. Yeah, Danielle does her thing. She has like a different part to play here. She's not so actively involved in the building as much as really running the house. She really runs the house. And she does a lot of ordering of things. We order things. We get a lot of our supplies at our post office box, so like she said, we had to throw away 2 pairs of socks. Now we have to buy 2 pairs of socks. That's basically where we're holding. But she does her homework, so she doesn't just buy socks. We have to buy socks that has no synthetic material in it whatsoever. And a lot of times they'll say it has no synthetic stuff, and then when you get it, it says, nylon this or poly this. She won't accept that. So we can only wear natural fibers. We can only eat, and that's just That's what she does. She do, when I, like this morning when I was putting the beam in place, I called for her. I says, Daniela, please help me, and she was there. She's my partner. We went and we rescued a scaffold that was sitting in the desert this morning. We both looked for something to help fix our front door. We didn't really find anything, but we figured out a way to keep the door closed. Yeah, I think we're all working on this. I'm not like saying that, it's just that the whole matrix idea that everything, and people are on the channel periodically saying, it's all about XRP. And so, it is, but it isn't, because it's not about one thing. It's about becoming a human being again. I mean, my father taught me how to deal with plants. My father taught me how to mulch, how to mulch, how to use your leaves. We grew up in the I grew up in the suburbs. Most people had gardeners, and they would throw out their leaves. My father was like, "Throw out our leaves? Are you crazy?" I mean, what I would give now for a pile of suburban New York leaves out here. Oh my God. What that would do for my gardening? A pile of leaves out here in the desert? People are just like, the gardener takes them away. They're like, he's like, I don't know why anybody would do that. But so I was able, I watched my father. He would come home. He was a dentist. He only worked 3 days a week. He couldn't stand it. And then he'd come home and he'd work in the garden. He just did it to, support his family. I mean, he was good at it. And the carpentry I learned myself. I taught myself. I have all these degrees. I have all this education. Doesn't do me any bit of good whatsoever. All the educational courses I took 20 years of educational courses. Not one scrap of not one, maybe one thing, maybe one or two ideas have remained with me. But it's completely a waste of time and money. Anyway, I know I should be doing the news. I want to be the one person to say it's the world is collapsing and that's a good thing. And don't bother with it. We have a world to build. We have a republic to repopulate. Wherever you live in, and even if you live outside the United States, you should be rebuilding your local government, or I should be rebuilding, and I am. We now have 4 people who are willing to stand up and sign a paper saying that we want to form the Republic of Mojave County in Arizona. And that's it. That's history, man. We're making history. And not that it's, I'm not doing it for that reason. I'm doing it because I think living in the Republic is where it's at. Being a sovereign citizen, doing what, and not having a nanny government sitting over me, breathing down my neck. Where your septic tank isn't certified. I'm like, you really want to get into my shit, you little assholes? I mean, I can't get a post office. I can't get a mailbox because you haven't certified my, I mean, that's called a government? I don't know. But thank you, Trinity. I need to hear this stuff right now. Thank you. Thank you for saying that, Trinity. I really appreciate it, because I never know what's going to come out of my mouth. And I feel like this is like I'm being a little bit sour, but I just want everyone to understand we're not waiting to be saved. We are not waiting to be saved. We don't want to be saved. We want to save ourselves. We must save ourselves. It has no meaning. A gift from Donald Trump and the White Hats is meaningless if we don't know how not to be slaves. Like I learned when I was an Orthodox Yid, the Yidden left slavery, but according to my rabbis, God interceded and removed the feeling, the idea that they were slaves. In other words, being liberated from slavery is not enough because you still have the slave mentality. So if you're waiting to be saved, if you're waiting for your XRP, you're waiting for your silver billions and all this other stuff, and it's all going to be okay because I'll be a millionaire, money ain't going to mean shit. Money will not mean anything. Nobody will care about money. There's plenty of money. There's plenty of resources. So if you're all, that's the matrix. They want because the only people who are seem to be free are the elites. And how do they get their money? Do they get their money by being really smart investors? They got their money because they stole it from us. They're criminals. The world is run by criminals. Do we want to be like them? Okay, man, I got tons of money, man. I can just chill now. That's not what it's about. I got tons of money. Now I can do something. Now I can repopulate the republic. Now I can build the house I've always wanted to live in with my own hands. I can grow the garden I've always wanted to have. I can have the relationship that I've always dreamed of having. I can do what I want to do because I'm sovereign, because I'm not a slave. That's, in my opinion, where we must go, where we must be in order to leave slavery, in order to leave this fiat slave system where they just print money and they give you, credit cards and they charge you 30% interest, and then they steal all your tax money and they go and they stick it, Nancy Pelosi has 15 kinds of gelato ice cream. I mean, she's dead. I'm sure she's been executed a long time ago, but these elites are criminals. She was from a mafioso family. These are hardcore criminals, murderers. This whole thing with Epstein, it just came out. It's not like they were having sex with underage kids. They were killing kids. They were eating them. These are the people who are running the world. And to be liberated from them is just the beginning, because they have stolen our sovereignty. They have made us slaves. So Lincoln, freed the slaves. If you're freed and you still have a slave mentality, you're just a slave. You're a freed slave, but you're still a slave. We must cultivate. I have to cultivate for myself this feeling of freedom. And for me, it involves building my own house. I just don't want to live in a slave hut. I don't want to live with a sheetrock wall. I don't want to live because it's easier, because it's more comfortable, because I don't have to worry about where pumping the well. I don't have to, my water is just supplied. My gas is, I pay a bill. I don't want to live like that anymore. We go down and we buy propane. We have solar panels. When we want to cook something, we go out, we start a fire, and we cook it. So anyway, you don't really want a mailbox at your home issued by them. Yeah, I really don't want it. You're right, absolutely right. I don't want a mailbox. I really don't want a mailbox because it's convenient. I don't mind going to the post office box. I have a post office box in town. I'm delighted. We like the people who run it. They're like our friends. They're like, hey, what's up, man? Oh, you got some big packages this week. You ordered 3 boxes of tallow chips, of potato chips that are cooked in tallow. It's a marvelous world. It's a beautiful, brilliant world. We're going to learn how to feed ourselves, how to eat the right kind of food, how to get the right kind of exercise, how to build houses. My main One of my main missions that I didn't really formulate this. I didn't think, oh, I really want to learn how to. No, but I know in my heart of hearts that I have been gifted certain skills because I want to build a house that is different. It's just I don't it just gives me the creeps to think about living or renting a place in town. It gives me the willies. Yes, we go sometimes we have to stay in a hotel for a few days. I don't mind that. It's a nice break. I do enjoy it. But the thought of like paying rent and living in a place because it's convenient and I could have more time to broadcast and I wouldn't be worrying about the door, the door exploding on me, the doorknob just like I took a few screws out and the whole thing was just it was under a lot of compression, and when I took the screws off, it went everywhere. I mean, we live outside my house is dirt. I'm going to go crawling through the dirt. I tried looking for the parts, but it ain't happening. So we'll get a little latch. So we'll live with a latch. It's like, but this is real deal. This is our place. This is our destiny. This is something that we volunteered for because I did not want to spend $400,000 and get into another mortgage to live in a slave hut, a little square place with square rooms, and I can't. I can't live like that anymore for some reason. We buy tallow and make our own fries. There you go. That's beautiful. Yeah, I mean, we basically do too. We basically do too. But for us to have like a bag of chips it's a big deal. In other words, to open a bag and feel like we're not getting poisoned. Yeah, we do everything, but yeah, I know. So I think, yeah, I make home for. Listen, I'm having a running battle with Daniela because she doesn't totally approve of eating potatoes every day. I I love potatoes. I love a little starch. I know I'm a carnivore on a carnivore diet, but I'm not. I'm not willing to suspend. I'm not willing to just eat meat. I can't. It's just. I don't feel comfortable yet. Maybe someday I will, but I don't think so. I like to eat fruit. I like to eat some veggies. I didn't even get to the news, right? A great show. Yeah. I don't know, Starfire. I feel like I'm not. I mean, everybody wants to get blackpilled. Everyone looks, oh no, the Fed chairman is really an elite guy. Oh no. Like Mr. Hands in the old uh, Saturday Night Live. No, Mr. Hands. No, no, no. It's just like everybody beefy on mail order, but pricey. Yeah, yeah. All these things are pricey. It's ridiculous to pay for decent food, for healthy food. It costs a fortune, a fortune. We go to Sprouts. I'm like $200, $300. What do we get? I don't. We get a lot of things, but the only cheese that Danielle will eat is $14 for a square. She says next time we go to Sprouts, we're going to buy two because we haven't had cheese for a couple weeks, and so we eat butter. I mean, it's. Well, I like butter. Mr. Bill, yeah, that was fun, right? But yeah, we off-grid solar panels, Starlink. Yeah, we don't need electric now or internet company. Yeah, we also use Starlink. Starlink is wonderful. It's really great, and the solar panels are amazing. We have 9 solar panels, and we're and two batteries, and we're just fine. When we build the house, we'll probably have to get a bigger system, but I don't want to be on grid. I don't I don't I don't maybe there'll come a time when I'll just be like, okay, enough already, man, enough living off grid, but I'm not quite there yet. We have a well now. It took us a year and a half to get a well, and we have a pump on it. Just eat whatever you like. No news. We don't need to hear the news about it. Nighttime is supposed to be relaxing. Well, thank you so much. Yeah, I appreciate it. I just, I've been looking through it. I flagged a lot of things. Let me just show you the things that kind of caught my eye, and they're really not news things. They're just about kind of like how to live life. Also, yeah, let me take off this Republic, but join the Republic. Just go on, republicforusa.org. Just join them, help them. I mean, I think it makes sense for the Republic for which it stands. The Republic. We're not supposed to be living under this kind of government, a corporate government. This is these are criminals. Okay, so have you considered getting a Cash App so we can support you? Yeah, I can't. No Cash App, but there is a way on Rumble. You could send me Bitcoin, which I could convert to XRP, Bitcoin, and something else. There's something else, right? Yeah, yeah. You could send to Daniela's PayPal, but really, what we would like, if you want to support the channel, is the best way is really to let's see, this is it. Let me see if I can find it. Oh gosh, I know it's here. Yeah, here. The best way is to get some patches, man. Get healthy, get younger. This is because you'll get something from it, and I won't feel like I'm just getting. But you could, if you wanted to, you could send to Daniela's PayPal if you really want to support us. But we're very happy with the Lifeway product, with sharing the Lifeway product, and if you buy some, it's good for you and good for us. So, and yeah, you can get a hold of Daniela. She's getting better at ordering things. We're kind of going through training now because it was Dr. Stacy doing it. She's wonderful, but Danielle is now learning to order things. We're still struggling with it, but you could help us practice, and some people have been very nice and stepped up and are helping us and willing to, that Danielle gets a little nervous about ordering. She doesn't want to make a mistake, but the truth is you can always just get a bath and a haircut. Yeah. Take a bath and a haircut. Last watch. Yeah. Um, yeah, I'm not really interested in getting a haircut, but I don't have Bitcoin. I also don't have Bitcoin. Solar give off a lot of EMFs. You might want technology that protects your EMF radiation. I haven't found a good one, but we all need them. Yeah, let me know if you find something. I feel like I get something from you every night, and I feel that you should be compensated. Well, thank you, Mommy Wolverine. If you want to send me Bitcoin on Rumble, Rumble has some way of doing it that I can convert into XRP. That I would love that. You can give to Daniela has a PayPal. My PayPal is has been destroyed, but didn't I have that? I had that. But anyway, life. If you're not interested in life, but I appreciate the Mavi Wolverine. But we do this just because, or I do this. We do this because this is what we do anyway. I probably won't be on tomorrow night because we're we found a source of ponderosa pine for very cheap, and we're going to be getting some. which is very exciting. It's such a gift. This is the kind of stuff that really excites us because we are building with ponderosa pine. I used plywood to sheathe the whole house structure, but the more I think about it, it's like I only did that because I didn't have enough ponderosa pine. But now that we're going to have like access to some pine boards, big thick pine boards, I may decide to use that instead of plywood. We really don't have much plywood anyway because most of the structure is glass. We're using big glass panels and stuff. Anyway, yeah, greetings from Queensland, Australia. You have LifeWave. Cool, cool. Yeah, I told you I met somebody. Maybe even it was you. I met Deanne and Dennis in at Keto Carnivore, and they were like they were just we were peeling off our clothes and showing our all our LifeWave patches. It's like um anyway. All right, so let me yeah, but you can yeah, you could sign up under Daniela. Also, do I have your Daniela, do I have your PayPal thing?
No.
Do you want to put it up?
Uh, what do you mean put it up?
You want me to share your PayPal thing so people could?
Sure.
Okay, let's do that. What's your PayPal?
I'm pretty sure it's just my name and the last, or do you need an email?
Your email?
Name or email?
What do you mean? Anyway, we'll get together with it. We'll figure that out. But in the meantime, if you want to get a hold of, you could send Danielle an Instagram. She'll send you her PayPal address. My PayPal is long gone. I blew it up a long time ago. Okay, so yeah, so that's her contact information if you want to sign up. She's doing all the sign-ups really now. She could sign you up under me or her. Either way is fine with me. I don't care. Okay, so that's that. Let's go to let me just share some of a quick kind of news. There's some things that I think were interesting. Let's go to here. Um, Become the signal. There comes a moment in life when waiting quietly is no longer an option. A moment when you realize the world is not changed by those who watch, but by those who choose to stand, radiate, and lead. To become the signal is to stop searching for permission. It is the decision to live so fully aligned that your presence alone gives others the courage to rise. You do not force it, you embody it. Every room you enter carries your frequency. Every word you speak either strengthens the field or weakens it. So ask yourself, what are you broadcasting? Fear or leadership? Doubt or conviction? Noise or truth? The future does not belong to the loudest voices. It belongs to the clearest ones. Become steady, become undeniable, become the signal. I think that is so beautiful. Walsh's nomination will be withdrawn. He appears in the Epstein documents that are released today. Judy Shelton will be the chosen one. Okay, so that's that. Breaking latest Epstein files allege that Prince Andrew tortured a girl before instructing her murder. All right. Illegals arrested, 88, not a single riot. ICE isn't the problem. Minnesota is. Do you remember the sun? I know it sounds like a stupid question, but is it really, given that we can see happening in the sky every day? Please keep pushing back against this evil before our sun is permanently blocked out. All life requires sunlight to survive. Congress just dropped a tough new bill. If you enter America illegally, you're permanently blocked from work permits, asylum, green cards, and citizenships. No loopholes, no amnesty, no games. National fraud enforcement. We need to understand the risk we are walking into. At midnight, Kevin set his alarm. Okay, so this is overnight. Okay, so who knows? The bridge is the moment of recognition. It describes the quiet inner crossing where perception loosens from inherited narratives and consciousness begins to reorganize itself. You feel the difference between static and coherence to sense the body as an interface. I'm not going to read this whole thing, it's rather lengthy, but Disney CEO Bob Iger and JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon both retiring as the Epstein files come out. Duh, right? Judy Poole, he's probably going to back out. Right. Judy's going to be the Fed chairman. This is great. I love this guy, Zachary Fisher. He's just come out and he's got great stuff. But there is something. You are broadcasting your reality. This is the essence of what I'm saying tonight. Let me just stop sharing for a moment. This is probably, this is what I've been trying to say. Zachariah Fisher says it much better. But Sunrise, yes. What did you do today? What, thinking of going to close government for good? Yeah, I hope so. It's already for me. In my mind, it's already gone. There's no government. This is not a government. This is a collection of criminals. But anyway, let me go back to the Zachariah Fisher thing. I think it's really good. Okay, let's go to here and here. Okay. All right, you are broadcasting your reality. This is really long. I'm not going to read the whole thing, I don't think. But you are broadcasting your reality. Let's see if I can do this like this. There is something humanity is beginning to remember. We are not merely reacting to the world, we are helping create it. Every thought you rehearse, every emotion you live inside of, every belief you normalize quietly shapes the field around your life, not someday, now. Your inner state is not private, it's creative. When a person lives in fear, resentment, or powerlessness, their world begins to narrow, possibly becomes harder to see. Life becomes heavy, uncertain, constrained. But when a human learns steadiness, when they regulate their nervous system, when they stop outsourcing their sense of safety, their perception widens, opportunities appear, solutions surface, guidance feels closer. This is not magic, it's resonance. What humanity must understand now is this: the future will not be decided primarily by technology, governments, or institutions. It will be shaped by the emotional maturity of human beings. A species that cannot regulate itself cannot steward great power, but a species that learns coherence becomes capable of building a world far wiser than the one it inherited. So the real question is no longer what do you believe? The question is what are you practicing emotionally every single day? Because what you practice you strengthen. What you strengthen becomes your reality. Okay, I know this is so beautiful. Let me just get to the end of it. I have to share again because I can't scroll there. Because what you practice, you strengthen. What you strengthen becomes your reality. Humanity is not collapsing. it is laboring. This is a birth era, and birth always comes with pressure. Do not mistake intensity for the end. Very often, it is the signal that something new is pushing its way into existence. The leaders of the common era will not simply be the loudest voices, they will be the steadiest nervous systems in the room. Calm will become leadership, presence will become influence. Regulated hearts will help reorganize. So guard your inner world, slow your reactivity, become intentional with what you rehearse. The future is not arriving randomly, it is being practiced through us right now. You are far more powerful than you were taught to believe, not through force, but through coherence. When enough humans remember this, we will stop bracing for the future and finally begin building one worthy of the human heart. Your inner state is shaping the world long before you see the evidence. This is just, it's just so beautiful. Coherence, the idea of coherence. So I don't know, when I think about it, like I don't know exactly where I'm going, when I'm going to finish my house, what kind of, I'm not on a schedule because and people offer to help me, and it could be somebody, could be Andrew's listening. Andrew is so beautiful, offered to come and help me. The thing is, I really don't want help because I want every piece of this building to be divinely inspired, to come through inspiration, not through planning, not through intellect, to just be like, I was in the garden today. I did not know what I was going to be doing. I had no idea, I had no plan. I'm not like, okay, now I need to do this. I was just like, let's go into the garden. And I started shoveling, and I started formulating. It started to come clear to me what the garden was going to look like. And that's the way I want to live. I want to live spontaneously. I don't want to be shackled by plans. I don't want to be, and though I totally appreciate a gracious offer from a really great man, a friend of mine, a partner in this resurgence of the republic. Well, in our case, the institution of the republic, the inhabitants of the republic in Mojave County. But um, my building cannot be, I cannot, I could have somebody maybe come and help me once in a while, but it just, it doesn't resonate with me because I really want to try to do it by myself with Daniela. You can plan as you go along and have someone help you too. I can, but I just don't, I'm not comfortable yet because I'm not, because I very much like to encourage people to be creative that I'm with, but I don't want people to be encouraged to create what I want to create. So I just feel very selfish about this project, that because I don't really know where it's going, but I feel like I want to create a model Earthship that other people could do in their own way. And I do not want to create a model that other people should follow. I want to create a pathway, a relaxed state of being, a creative state of being that allows people to create spontaneously instead of going out to hire an architect and having the architect figure out what you need. As I said to Ishmael Perez years ago, I had a few broadcasts with him, and I was desperately trying to ask him, because architecture to me is so important. Like, I feel like I identify with Howard Rourke from I think it's the foundation. What was it? The Foundation. Uh, um, the Ayn Rand book, Howard Rourke. I think it was called The Fountainhead. The Fountainhead. I really identify with him because I just I have the tools to build myself, to create my own thing from the materials, not from plans. From whatever materials I'm able to gather, that's what I'm going to build with. So now I have an opportunity to get some more ponderosa pine boards, which is what I wanted to build a house out of originally. And then I settled for plywood because I was the wind is so fierce up here at times, and I wanted to protect us from the wind so we could live. I mean, the wind is it affects you mentally. So I put up plywood, but now I'm thinking now I could take down the plywood. Now that I have a source of ponderosa pine boards, I could get rid of it. And this is the kind of spontaneity that I think we should be living with 24/7. This is what being sovereign is all about. It's not like, okay, I'm going to join this club or that club and well, I don't see that. I see sovereignty as being like a license to create what's in your heart in this dimensional reality in the 3D world. um, you can plan it. Yeah, I probably could have somebody help me once I get to a certain state. Maybe once I have it a little more cope here. But I at this point it's early in the game, and I want to have full control over the the creative process of creating a dwelling place for Daniela and I. Yeah, child like raising Arizona. Yeah, child abuse will have no place. Absolutely. Thanks, Trinity. I really appreciate your support tonight. Pizzagate shook me to the core. Yeah, it's unbelievable, right? Believe you were right in saying, yeah, if yeah, that's the new world we're going to be coming into, in my opinion. You know, 8 million children go missing a year. That is beyond outrageous. That's beyond the Holocaust. They didn't kill 6 million Yidden in one each year. That was a total, and it's not even the numbers. So in the future world, if one child goes missing, the whole world shuts down until we find that child. And we will tear up the earth to find one child, because that's the kind of coherence, that's the kind of resonance that we as a people, that we the people must maintain, insist on. A kid goes missing? Are you kidding me? A child? Did you see that movie? What was that movie called? It was Flight Log, wasn't it?
Flight plan.
Flight Plan?
Yeah.
Flight Plan. If you haven't seen that movie, it is stunning. A woman loses her child, and everyone's like, I don't know, I never saw a child. I don't know, you must be crazy. They were all in on it. They were all that this whole world that seems like it's just a random world and this guy's here, and they're all in on it together, whether they know it or not. The creepazoids work together. They may not know the other creeps, but they are all hired by the same structure, the same satanic beings who run the world, who murder 8 million children or steal 8 million children a year. Yeah, that's got to end. But yeah, in the future, one kid, and we will all be connected because we already are. We're already completely telepathic. We just don't know it yet. We don't really know how to develop that aspect. But if a child is missing, everyone in the world will know it immediately, and we will go berserk until that child is returned. Thank you, JD. Yeah, I feel, I'm cutting a new course here. And it's not really me. It's kind of like the same way I do the gardening. I just go out in the garden. I don't know what I'm there to do. I just grab a shovel and I just start working, and then whatever comes out. I'm doing the same thing here, and I feel bad because I know a lot of people want to know the news and want to put it all together. And but that's not our task anymore. That is behind us. We are coming into a new reality that, Zachary Fisher says, it is all about coherence. It's all about us taking responsibility for creation. And it's not a harsh thing. It's a beautiful. I'm telling you, I, I didn't come here. I didn't buy this land thinking like, I'm going to build. I did think I would build a house because only because I can't live in any of the houses that are built for now. There's no way I could live in those houses, even the really modern ones with all the glass and all the luxuries all there. I could not live in that. I want to live in a place that resonates with the same nature that that is all around me. I got mountains all around me. I want my house to resonate, to be part of that environment, not separate, not like a fortress, like a safe place outside of nature. I want to be completely in tune with it. I want my house to resonate. I want to have fruit trees inside the house. I want to have contact with the dirt on the ground. Maybe I even want to continue flushing my toilet with a bucket. I don't know, but it's why would you want to separate yourself from the divine, from the anyway? Yeah. So, but I flight. It was riveting, right? Flight plan. I know it was absolutely riveting, and that is so real. Now, if you see Flight Plan, you will realize we live in that world. People, this woman is like, they stole my kid. And they're like, what kid? We never saw a kid. You're losing it. They were all in on it. That's the world we live in. The government is all the government, the bankers, the teachers, the doctors, the lawyers. They're all in on this murderous conspiracy against humanity. They don't care. They just want to profit. They're Satanists. They worship the devil. Look at these ICE protesters. These are not normal people. These are demons. Same with narcissists. I was saying last night, if if you have an interaction with somebody and an hour later all you're thinking about is them and it's not good feelings, it's not like, oh, I love that person. It's like this, you're dealing with a narcissistic, and you have to do everything you can to distance yourself from that thought stream and that person. Periodically people appear in my life and I'm like, hey, he's such a nice guy, and I'm thinking like an hour later I'm like, wait a minute, what did he say about what, and I'm like, that really bothers me, and I'm thinking about it all the time. That's a narcissistic. That's a demon. You can't deal with them. You have to walk away. You have to just, if they get into your mind, you have to just bide your time. Just think of, just allow them to, just allow them to cleanse out. Just let your time will heal it. And after a couple days, you won't be thinking about them anymore. But don't encourage them. Don't make nicey with these people, and let them back in your life, because they'll do the same thing to you and you'll be thinking about them. That's like, why was it so important for me to quit alcohol? Not just because I was getting, I would get drunk, seriously drunk once or twice a week. But it wasn't just that. It was that I was thinking, when I wasn't drinking, I was thinking about, when am I going to be drinking? And that's, we must be, have our minds, like my friend Greg Whitehunt says, dance with your heart, dance with your mind, think with your heart. Play, be childlike, but be creative. This is a big sandbox for me. I'm playing in the sandbox. It's like, I want a garden over there. I want some fruit trees. I want to get some nut trees. I want to have chickens. I want, but I want to have a second story on my house. This just came it just popped into my thoughts. It's like, wow, we really should have two stories, because the back of the Earthship does not get the fierce sun and wind that the front does. So I can broadcast there. We can sleep there. We can look at the stars all night long. Creation. So yeah. So anyway, yeah. Like hit the like button. Yeah. Thanks. Debbie, good point. It's 10 o'clock in Arizona. Is it 10 o'clock already? Yeah. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I started late. I won't. I probably will not be broadcasting tomorrow night. I may be. I may change, but we have to do some things, and I don't think I'm going to get back in time. But what's your elevation? 4,500 feet. We're at 45, which is very good because we don't really get like fierce freezing. We get a few nights where it's below freezing, but not that much. And during the day, and it doesn't get fiercely hot during the summer. It does get hot, but not. I have neighbors that recycle everything, including going in buckets of straw that gets composted. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Many alcohol, yeah. I mean, they call it spirit. I mean, I listen. I love alcohol, and I'm very creative and very pleasant. And my drinking buddy cried when I stopped drinking. He's like, Ellie, because we had such deep connection in that way. Anyway, yeah. So great. Yeah. So I better get back to my life, but I probably, anyway, just. Thank you for supporting us with the LifeWave patches. Let me put that on again. We really appreciate it. You can sign up with Danielle if you want to call her and sign up together. You could. She's getting better and better at signing people up. We're hoping that we can relieve Dr. Stacy of having to sign people up. She's really good at it, but I'd like for Daniela to really do it her own. That way, she'll have her own business and. Have a little bit of independence for me. It's not easy. I'm not easy to live with. But I just, we have a very unusual kind of connection. And I really think it's amazing. Permaculture. Yeah. We don't throw anything out here either. I mean, nothing goes to waste. The patches really help my neck pain. That's great. Yeah, they're amazing. They're absolutely amazing. They're miraculous. But, you're not allowed to say that because, they want to push chemotherapy, which kills you, this kind of stuff. They don't want stuff that cures you. But that's going to change really fast. All right, let me play a tune just so we have that coherence, let's say, call it.
Living in the city, I was paying down my bills. One flat tire and the whole thing went to hell. Credit cards for groceries, I'm deep in debt again. It's time to split this scene, walk with you, my friend. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. They stole our money, but they couldn't stop the plan. Let's go together, playing with the band. Leaving the matrix, we're heading for the promised land. Stopped paying taxes, your insurance I don't need. The medicines are killing us, hospitals grow like weeds. Move into paradise, I don't need no gassy cars. Fake news, endless wars, a satanic legal bar. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. They stole our money, but they couldn't stop the plan. Let's go together, playing with the band, leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. My friends all tell me I lost control, left my wife and job just to run down rabbit holes. But I can tell you one thing about my fall. Where we go one, we go all. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. They stole our money, but they couldn't stop the plan. Let's go together, playing with the band, leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. Leaving the matrix, we're heading for the promised land.
Anyway, thanks so much for joining us tonight. I appreciate the encouragement. Uh, yeah, I don't know. Are we getting some free murder as they ended? Living Yankee free rated murder, the media right as they ended. Rate it. I don't know. Two streams coming in all gutsy, smash those buttons, whatever. Anyway, oh yeah, we get trolls sometimes, but just know that you are the one, plain and simple. And whatever you're thinking about, whatever you're doing, whatever you are speaking about, whatever you're researching on, you are creating a resonance that creates reality. It's that simple. May the force be with you. May you realize that you are the force. You are the creator. May source be with you. May you realize that you are source itself. Thanks for coming. Thanks for encouraging me. Thanks for not expecting me to black pill and get you all freaked out about the economy's collapsing. It is collapsing, but that's a good thing because the real economy, the quantum financial system, will soon be in its place, and we'll have plenty of stuff. So let's get out there with a big smile on our face and rock the world.